Welcome to the She Rises into Desire podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Christina Fontana. I'm a pharmacist, 5-time author, rapid transformation business coach, and creator of the Healers in Healthcare movement, geared to help pharmacists and healers in healthcare to monetize your knowledge, turn your gifts to gold, and scale your profitable healing business. Tune into my Raw and Real podcast as we dive into conversations around transformation, energy, business, healing, abundance, and so much more. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to another episode of She Rises into Desire. Today's topic is a juicy one, and it's something that I get asked about constantly. So women always come to me and they're like, I want better work-life balance. I want to be able to scale my business and call in more clients and cash flow, but I feel like I never have enough time. How do I block off more time in my day? Or how do I have better time management? And so whether you're a mom or not, I want you to know that I'm going to be sharing powerful tips and strategies in this podcast to help you create a better work-life balance. And so what this really comes down to is your energy. And you know, if you've been following me for a while, it always comes down to both the energetic components, I would say 95%, but also the strategic part. So we're going to be going through that today. So if you are listening to this and you're folding laundry or you're doing your workout, you're taking a walk outside, that is par for the course, right? Like, we're multitaskers, right? Especially as a mom, I totally get that. So you are in the right spot. If you're wanting to scale your profitable business, but you feel like there's never enough time to fit everything in. So I want to just acknowledge you here, hand on heart. I get it. And to be honest, it was extremely overwhelming for me being a new mom, not sleeping for the first, I would say, month of my daughter being born. And especially if you're not sleeping and your physical body is struggling, like you have a health challenge or you're dealing with a chronic disease or, all of these things that can kind of pull at our energy, that also contributes to this, right? So like having the capacity to receive these clients in cash is a whole other podcast episode that I'm not going to go into, but I want to just acknowledge you. Like, I really get where you're at, because in those moments when, especially like I said, the first month of Lindsay being born, I felt like I had no capacity for anything. And so I always go back to not only the strategic components of scaling a business, but also the energetic capacity, the nervous system work, the releasing self-sabotage, the energy leaks, the time drain. So we're going to be going through some of that as well today. If you have capacity, if you're not folding laundry or doing your workout or driving the kids to soccer, I'd love for you to get a pen and paper out, because this is going to really help you to release those time drains and energy leaks that are consuming your day that you might not even realize are sabotaging this lack of time. So right now, you're thinking that time and your capacity is your biggest block to scaling your business. And you think like, I just need to manage my time better. I need to time block. Maybe you're thinking I need to work harder, hustle, do more, but that's always only going to lead to burnout. Maybe you think like, oh, I just need to take a vacation. Like, I need to just go to the beach or get a massage, try some new self-care routines. But no matter what new solution you try, you still find yourself feeling depleted and exhausted. And so that's what we're going to be going into today. Is right now you're thinking that time management is your biggest thing that you need to master, but lack of time is actually just a topical symptom of a deeper root cause issue. The energy leaks, time drains, and self-sabotage patterns that are sabotaging your time. And so let's go through these 3 tips, these 3 strategies for success that will help you to clear up some of these energy drains and time leaks so that you can have more of that valuable time with your family. So number 1, structures. So we're going to go through structures, support, and systems today, all the S's. So boundaries. It's easy to say like, oh, I just need to set boundaries with my kids. I need to time block. I need to do all of these things around being able to create more time. But there are often underlying patterns at play here. So people pleasing, the fear of abandonment, negative consequences if you do set boundaries. So this could be anywhere from feeling like if you set a boundary with someone in your business that they're going to be mad at you. It could be a client. It could be a person that you're collaborating with that is really sucking your time and you're messaging them constantly on Facebook back and forth. It's the root of people pleasing, right? So that's leading to this time drain, the energy leak of not being able to set boundaries, which is the top layer symptom. So you might overcommit, you might pack your schedule. Another way that this plays out is because you have experienced trauma in the past, it doesn't feel safe to sit still. So you unconsciously create more things to do. Always having a full plate. So you take on extra responsibilities and you're not setting boundaries because it doesn't feel safe to sit still. It's safe and comfortable to stay busy, to always have things going on. And so you never get that connection time with yourself to rest, to be able to stop scrolling your phone or constantly checking your email. So again, the lack of time is just that top layer symptom. People pleasing, the fear of abandonment, negative consequences, nervous system dysregulation, feeling like you always have to have things to do to feel safe. That is really the root of what's happening here. So I want you to think about where are some of these opportunities for you to set boundaries. And here's the thing. Just by listening to this podcast, it's getting the wheels in motion, but really doing that deeper work is going to provide the true transformation. So we can cognitively know like, oh, I need to set a boundary with my son because he, is constantly asking for things like your adult son or whatever it is. And you need to set a boundary with him. But there might be codependency patterns that are sabotaging that from even happening. So just because you need to do something doesn't mean that you're going to follow through and do it, right? It's like that subconscious pull that's pulling you back to these old patterns so you can know you have to do it, but it's a totally different thing to actually implement it. So that could be what's at play here that's preventing you from setting boundaries. So another thing could be the standards. This is more of an energetic component, but you might have low standards for your business. As an example, like, oh yeah, like I'll work with anybody, right? But then you take on clients that drain your energy because they're not doing the work. And because you're not charging enough for your services, you're still having to work at your 9-to-5 job. So say that you're undercharging and over delivering, that's extremely draining for you. And that's a subconscious pattern, again, that's sabotaging your bottom line. It's sabotaging your ability to be able to transition out of your job to go full-time in your business. So raising the energetic standards, we actually do this in Elevate Entrepreneur Academy. It really helps you to save time and energy. As an example, I decided after I had Lindsay, I was not going to follow up with anybody who I felt like was not really serious about working with me. Sometimes people will say like, oh yeah, I'll work with you next year. Oh yeah, I want to work with you. And you follow up and nothing ever comes to fruition, which is fine. But I decided to just cut cords with those people. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let them lovingly go, right? Bless and release. Another thing I decided to do was to soulfully sell through Messenger. So I'm not getting it on any more free discovery calls. I have decided it's a pleasure-led decision that I wanted to operate my business in this way. So I don't get on discovery calls anymore. I also launched my Confident Client Attraction program in a completely new way. So you get to decide where you put your energy. And as a result of that, what I did, I had a pleasure-led launch that I was able to record something. I recorded a training and I called in all of these clients from posting about the training and getting people into my DMs. I had 7 new clients in May because of the way that I energetically decided to raise the standards for my business and launch in a new way, so that I wasn't just giving away all of this free content, getting on like a 3-day workshop where I was, pouring all of this time, because typically I would do like a 3-day or a 5-day workshop and 60 minutes, each time. That time adds up. So I completely revamped my launch and I was able to save time, and I still called in clients. So a lot of this comes down to boundaries and your capacity, nervous system regulation, feeling safe to be able to raise the standards for your business, to not feel like you can't say no to different opportunities because you have that FOMO or fear of missing out. So I want to ask you, what do you need to let go of? What do you need to release? For you, it could be scrolling and commenting in Facebook groups and you're constantly on your phone, getting distracted with technology, raising the standards for who you work with. What do you need to say no to? These are all questions that I want you to spend intentional time with and not only think about, but implement. And again, a lot of times we can cognitively know this is what I need to do, but then these self-sabotage patterns come in and it doesn't feel safe to set boundaries. It doesn't safe to put that post out because perfectionistic tendencies come in. I once had somebody that I was working with, she ruminated over a post for 6 hours. So think about time drains like that. Imagine if you could just get a divine download, have the idea, and quickly implement. That is so powerful, and it would save you so much time. Think about that. All right, so that was bullet point number 1. So structures, boundaries, raising the standards, and releasing things that are draining your energy. So number 2 is support. So we got the 3 S's. So structures, support, and systems. So number 2 is all about leaning on support versus feeling like you need to do everything yourself. What can sabotage this? Wanting control and not trusting other people, having a trust wound, being that independent person, not wanting to seem stupid, weak, incapable if you have to ask for help, not wanting to be a burden on other people, because you're like, oh, I can't ask for help because it's, I should be able to do this myself. Or you have the fear of speaking up to ask. So there can be a lot of blocks to asking for support. And again, a lot of this comes back to us feeling safe and grounded within ourselves to be able to lean on that support. Because maybe some past experience happened where you got betrayed, you were disappointed, you trusted somebody and something happened. These are all opportunities for you to heal that trust wound, to be able to rely on team members, or in my case, I have multiple people that help me throughout the week. So I send Lindsay to daycare on Monday and Thursday. Penny goes to doggy daycare too. So like the house is completely quiet. I'm recording this on a Thursday. Both of them are at daycare, and I love both of their their daycares. They're just such loving people that take care of them. My mother-in-law watches Lindsay on Wednesday and Friday. One of my neighbors watches her on Tuesday, and I pay for that because I know that I need to have capacity to take care of myself, to be able to work on my business and all of these other things that I need to do. I also have an extremely supportive husband, and Penny, I always call her the babysitter too. So Penny babysits Lindsay, jokingly, I always say that. But I had to do a lot of work on myself, even like, to be honest, like I always talk about this too. When I first hired my business coach back in 2019, for years, I was like, oh, I'm not spending money on a coach. I'm not going to invest in help because I was independent, right? I had a lot of wounding around trusting people in general because I got kicked out of my house. I was fired from my job. I was abandoned literally by my family So I had a very tough time letting people in and trusting because I had been so wounded. And so if that's you, if you have that kind of wounding, I want you to know that you can absolutely heal from it. And it doesn't mean anything if you need help, right? Like, think about when you first learned to ride a bike, or something you had to learn, like your ABCs. I'm teaching Lindsay about colors and ABCs and all of that. Like, we need help. If there's something that you don't know how to do, it doesn't mean anything bad about you. So taking the meaning out of it, and also healing some of those deeper wounds, those trust wounds or mother or father wounds, can be really powerful in feeling safe to lean on support. So huge. And number 3 is systems. So we have structure, support, and systems. So by systems, I mean team, technology, and tools. So if you're wanting to scale your business, you need to have a team. So pointing back to number 2 about support, bullet point number 2, you need to be able to delegate to other people. If you have all of this control around, I can only do it the right way, you're going to burn yourself out very quickly. So my VA does all of my social media posts. She repurposes content. I had to train her, right? I have processes and policies, procedures, processes in place. And I've had to say, hey, listen, like, don't use that font, use this font. I've had to correct her a couple of times, and that's okay, right? You're getting to know each other. And so it's a relationship with all team members. So I have a support coach that helps me out. I'm launching something new in the summer that I'm not going to be teaching all of these calls for this one program. And guess what that does? That frees up my time to be able to spend with my daughter doing tummy time or whatever else I have to do, take a walk outside, whatever. So all of that is so huge. Setting up systems, so team is one. Technology, being able to have things that like ClickUp or Monday.com or Social that plans out all of my content. ClickUp is a task management software. That is extremely helpful and saves me time because I don't have to go back in there and say, oh, who's doing what's happening? So it's really having that structure to be able to carry out these tasks for my business. And then number 3 is tools. So as an example, ChatGPT, if you don't know about ChatGPT yet, it is absolutely a time saver. So we actually teach about this in Simplify and Streamline, team, technology, and tools, and how to combine those to save time and also scale your business. So I use ChatGPT for coming up with really catchy like subject lines or podcast names and titles. It's so helpful. That is a tool that will save you time. So these 3 things that we just talked about today, structures, support, and systems, are really scratching the surface of the deeper transformation. You've clearly gotten that already from a lot of the things we talked about. It's not just about the strategy. It's also about the deeper transformation, your nervous system, the energy, the self-sabotage patterns that are leading to the top layer symptom of lack of time. So we just went over some really powerful concepts here. And here's the thing, it's so easy to say, yes, I'm going to implement this. Yes, I'm going to start setting boundaries. But as I've shared with you here, it's deeper than that. And so true transformation requires not only mindset work and shifting, but doing some of that deeper nervous system work, looking at where are these time leaks and energy drains that are sabotaging your business and bottom line. And so that is exactly why I'm so excited to share that I've created a 1-day powerful retreat here in Mars, Pennsylvania, coming up in the fall. So this is called the Release and Rise Retreat. It's October 12th from 9 to 3. I actually created this entire retreat in 1 day, and this just goes to show how efficient you can be once you set up support strategies and systems to scale your business. This is for the woman and the business owner that is ready to release burnout, overwhelm, and self-sabotage to rise into more confidence, clients, and cash flow. So we're going to be moving through specific trainings to help you with this. So we're going to be blending both the inner work and intuitive business strategy. I'm going to have a bunch of different sessions. You're going to have opportunities to network, to collaborate. I like to think of this as an idea incubator. All of my retreats are designed for connection, to help you build new networks with people who are going to support you for years to come in your business. It's an idea incubator. So every time I host a retreat, there are so many ideas that people get. Not only are you going to be getting new ideas, but you'll learn how to quickly take them to implementation. So taking that idea straight to implementation so you can start selling new offers, creating new products and services for your business so you can start to scale right away. We're going to be moving through rapid transformation work and business strategies. So things like releasing self-sabotage patterns, working on magnetic messaging and marketing, crafting your profitable product suite, and creating no-brainer entry points for people to start paying you right now. You're also going to be getting, which I love, a free copy of my 5th book, Elevating into Entrepreneurship, which also has a digital workbook as well as bonus training. So even before you get to the retreat, you can dive right into that and start working on how to scale your business with ease and flow right away. So tickets are now on sale for the Release and Rise retreat, and I am so excited to welcome in all of the beautiful souls who are ready to release burnout, overwhelm, anxiety, these patterns that have been holding you back so that you can rise into your next level of wealth, clients, and cash flow. So I cannot wait to see you at this retreat. And let me know if you have questions. I'm going to leave all the details in the description box below. And let's do the damn thing.